When I first started biking 6 years ago, I didn't realise that if your engine's running and your bike's in gear and you put the kickstand down, the engine is supposed to cut out. Well, it seems as though Rafiki didn't know this either. And then when I got Lauren, she had this safety feature. If her engine was running and she was in gear and you put the kickstand down, her engine would cut out. So the other day when I'm cleaning Rafiki, I decided let's have a proper look underneath. Let's see whether we actually do have this kill switch and perhaps it's broken, or maybe we didn't have one at all. And if we didn't have one, of course, I was going to then look into retrofitting one. So I took a look underneath and did find what looked like a switch. Yes, it was the kill switch that I'd been looking for, only the kickstand wasn't making proper contact with it. So the next thing to do, of course, was to get the rear wheel up in the air with the engine running and then push that kill switch button. Yes, the system worked. It was just simply a case of the kickstand was not connecting with the switch. So the kill switch had to come off. It's held in with 2 bolts, one of which is really close to the exhaust, so I couldn't use my wrench on that. It meant that one of the bolts came out pretty easily, and the other one took what felt like forever trying to get the damn thing out with an Allen key. Once the kill switch was free, I then removed the lower panel. The lower panel on that side is held in with 4 bolts. With that panel removed and the kill switch dangling, it became very clear why it wasn't working. Yes, the plunger, the switch, the pin, whatever you want to call it, was clearly bent. I tried straightening this pin out and I think I did a pretty good job of it, got it pretty straight, but it just wouldn't work properly. It didn't feel right. When you actually pushed that plunger in, even when it was straightened, it was notchy, you know, it was scratchy. There was definitely some corrosion in there. I think it must have been bent for years. I've had the bike 6 years and it's never worked. So it's certainly been bent for some time, and I think dirt, rain, crud and stuff had got in there and corroded it. So the only thing I could do was replace it. But of course, to get this part off completely meant tracing the wiring back through the bike, and to do that meant removing another 2 pieces of the motorbike fairing. The boomerang panel is held on with 2 bolts and 1 screw. The middle panel is held on with a bolt at the top that actually goes through 2 panels, a bolt at the bottom, and then there's meant to be a screw at the top and 2 screws underneath, but these 3 screws, they're often missing. And then it was simply a case of tracing the wiring back from the kill switch, back around the engine and up until you get to the electrical connector. Now, if you're replacing your kill switch and you haven't yet got your replacement, you can't simply run without one. And the reason for that is that when they're working properly and the side stand presses that plunger, it interrupts what is a closed circuit. It makes an open circuit, the engine reads that and the engine cuts out. If you simply disconnect your electrical connector and remove the device, then you've got a permanent open circuit on that side and your engine will start, but as soon as you put the bike into gear, it'll cut out. Yeah, ask me how I know this. So in order to keep running my bike without the kill switch, what I did was I cut the electrical connection off the old device, twisted the wires together, ran some solder into them, and then put some heat shrink over the top of it, because these are live wires and you don't want them interacting with any part of your bike's bodywork. So at that point I've got a closed circuit and the bike will run until I get my replacement. Fitting the replacement is, as they say, the reversal of removal. You plug it in, route the cable, bolt the thing back into place, and then everything should work fine. Except Rafiki's side stand by this point hasn't interacted with the kill switch for at least 6 years, and it had gone pretty corroded. So even with the new device in place, it felt like shit. I had to take the side stand off, sand it down a little bit, paint up a little bit of corrosion, but get it looking right, get it feeling right. You know, the contact point had to be smooth. It couldn't be the cruddy nastiness that it had become. With that done and the side stand refitted, the kill switch finally worked. The picture of the finished item looks a little bit weird though. It kind of looks like I've sanded the wrong side, which I haven't. It's just the angle that I've taken the picture at. And me being me, I couldn't fit this new component with an old rusty bracket, so I had to get that painted gloss black. Yeah, Hammerite gloss black. No one's ever going to see it, but I'd know it was there. I would know if I'd fitted a nice shiny new component with an old crusty bracket, and that would have gnawed away at me. Yeah, that would have definitely impacted upon my OCD. So freshly painted bracket there, and everything seems to be running right now. The only other thing I found when fitting this new part was that the cable was just too long. Maybe it's made for multiple different bikes, but the cable was far too long, so I had to put a couple of 180-degree turns in it to take up the slack so that it would actually look right. But other than that, yeah, as I say, everything's running right now.
Yes, it's only a small modification. In fact, it isn't even a modification, is it? It feels like a mod to me because Rafiki didn't have this thing and now he does. It feels like a bit of a mod, but it's not. It's just me reinstating what was there from the factory and what should always have been there. And some people might say, pointless, you don't need them. And well, I've had Rafiki for 6 years and haven't needed one, so it would be difficult for me to argue and say, no, you need it, it's a safety device, etc, etc. I clearly haven't needed a side stand kill switch on this bike for the last 6 years. Yes, it is a safety feature. In fact, when I pulled over earlier, when I was ready to go, I tried to start the engine, the kickstand was down and the bike was in gear. So of course the bike was having none of it, because the side stand kill switch now works. So, you know, you could argue, yes, you need them, no you don't, etc. But I'm just glad to have managed to have gotten this one fixed. But maybe it is time for me to turn my attention back to his R6 lever conversion, because I never did finish it. I lent the bike out to a friend, didn't I, for 5 weeks, and then he got pinched and then we got him back. But now, yes, perhaps it's time. It was a whole impromptu thing, this side stand kill switch. I hadn't planned to do it. It was something that I'd thought about, but I'm glad it's done. But yes, perhaps now it is time to turn my attention back to his R6 lever conversion, or the fact that he needs some new tyres for the winter, or the fact that I also want to get his wheels refurbished.